Leo, to the Daily Mail, the Dark Knight rises.
That could potentially be racist. So London Mayor Sadiq Khan is set to receive a knighthood in the New Year's honours list, Whitehall insiders say. That's Whitehall, the political thing, not Jack Whitehall. So having previously been a Labour MP, Mr Khan could be Sir Khan, or Sir Sadiq it'll be, became the first Muslim mayor of the capital in 2016 and was elected for a third term this year. Probably not the last Muslim mayor, given that Mohammed is now the most popular name in the UK for newborns. But I don't know, I just wonder who London would have elected as mayor if only Cockneys could vote. I wonder if it'd be Sadiq Khan. I mean, I think the fact that, Sadiq Khan has ensured London's this wonderful multicultural utopia, a melting pot where you get Scottish people, people from Cumbria, miscellaneous English people, all together, all the people from all the way around the world, all mixed together, and he's really made it like white British people are now a minority in the capital of Britain, which is, I don't know, I think that's quite interesting.
I'm enjoying all my new rights. I don't know about you, but it's great.
What rights have you got?
Are they still doing, just a joke in none, are they still doing the sword thing on either? Because when I think of blades, I do think of Sadiq Khan.
Yep.
He'll probably try and confiscate that and then fail. Sadiq Khan, the bar's not that high. Jimmy Savile did have one of these, so let's all just calm down. Do you know what I mean? It's not that... Because I was thinking, what's Khan done? And then I remembered the mate campaign. He put an extra A or two in the word mate to make it mate. He did a really lame campaign, and that alone
made him worse than Savile.
Well, I don't want to say that. You can say that, and that wasn't me, just for the record. But satirical content. But I'm just saying all the things we have to say now to not get sued. Yeah, what's he done apart from ruin London? Why does that get you a knighthood? It says he's been. Look, he receives an award for political and public service after almost 2 decades in frontline politics. Yeah, doing bad stuff. That shouldn't get you. Hitler was in the war. Do you know what I mean? He was there for ages.
In fairness, he did get medals.
Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just that alone, just being there. Guys, I've been in this game a long time. Yeah, but doing really bad things. You've been destroying the greatest capital in the world.
But I think if you're going to give medals or knighthoods to politicians, you're going to be struggling to find any that have had a significant positive contribution. I mean, Emily Thornberry is also set to be awarded a damehood, and Patricia Hewitt.
That's a joke.
Andy Street, Nick Gibb, Ranil Jayawardena, and Marcus Jones. I mean, we're getting down. I mean, Peter Kay, I think, had a joke about how they give these knighthoods, these gongs out to anyone now. It's not like the old days where you'd have to really achieve something or be famous.
Do you know what? We've been doing the show for 3 years. We just stick around, doing bad content for long enough. We'll get all sorts of awards.
Also, just to clarify that intro, I think I was saying that he was making this city like Gotham.
No, you were being racist.
No, I think... Good to clarify. And good to Leo to help you and not throw you under the bus at all.
I think I get away with it.
Hey, everybody on Blue Sky. Steve was being racist.
Probably get complained about on there, don't worry about it. Everyone gets complained about there. Nick, The Express, how's the Labour relaunch going?
It's going very well, thank you, Steve. So it's Reform UK overtake Labour for first time in major victory for Nigel Farage. So Starmer is so hated, and now he's gone behind in the polls. So the Tories are on 26% of the vote, according to Find Out Now, who conducted this poll. And Reform are on 24% and Labour on 23%. So it almost feels to me like an anyone but Labour vote already. In the election we had anyone but the Tories. We're already on anyone but Starmer. And really just the Tory Reform nexus is beating them, whichever party turns out to win out of those two. But it's much like Dominic Cummings has predicted. We could end up with a 3-way split in the next election if this carries on, everyone on 20-something%. And then you look at, well, what's going to come next? Because this is what makes you think we are really a moment of seismic change across Europe, arguably America and Canada. Our parties aren't working anymore. They don't represent people. The progressive liberal elite has basically become defunct. It doesn't work for people. And so now we see this realignment, because how else can you get Labour coming in and then 5 months later they're already this unpopular? It just suggests that our politics isn't working and we need some sort of major change. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to look like.
Yeah, we've seen a sort of move across the West for this progressive left political groups and parties, and all the rest of it to try and change the way people think. So they say, oh, look, we've got these hate crime laws, so you can't have that opinion or you'll go to jail, and we're going to put all this guidance into schools and we're going to teach you, these are the things you're allowed to think, the things you're allowed to say. And that's not democracy. That's trying to impose an ideology on people. And people are kind of getting sick of it, and it's all starting to fall in on itself, and people are looking around to find other people to vote for. And I think, Reform are part of that and getting the benefits from it. I don't know if their success in this poll would actually, because this is across the country, so the way politics works is people have focused numbers of votes in certain areas, so they get the Liberal Democrats won 500,000 fewer votes than Reform at the election, but gained 72 parliamentary seats, whereas Reform got 5.
Yeah, but you make a good point about people don't like the culture of being told what to think.
Yeah.
So that was also true before the last election, and that is not how people voted in that election. They did across the rest of Europe, but not in the UK. You can also explain everything that's happened across Europe and America by saying anti-incumbency. People have a terrible life, blame those above, and vote against them.
Yeah, but didn't it always feel like we were going against the grain? And it was this so-called loveless landslide, cringe term perhaps, but no one really wanted Labour. It felt strange. We were going against Europe. And this kind of shows we didn't really want them, and now already they're struggling.
Do you not think it comes from 2010? No one really wanted what happened there. There was no vote for a Conservative government there. There was just, you could piece it together with a bit of Lib Dems. That started what ended up being 14 years of Tories, and then eventually you have an anti-Tory vote because 14 years...
I don't think so, because people did have enthusiasm for Boris. He did win a significant majority. He absolutely ruined it by destroying the country with immigration, which is another story. But I think there was genuine enthusiasm at that moment.
But then you became the incumbent at the end of a long run when anti-incumbency was just about to chip in. So I just think everyone's had a bit of a flip, and it's just everyone else was swinging the other way. For some reason, 2010 made us swing to the right, and everyone else went the other way.
And I think sensible people are getting back into politics. We've seen this in America as well. People like Musk, the sort of nation builders, the engineers, the people who can really do things and make things happen, have taken their eye off the ball over the last few decades in politics, and we've let the theatre kids and the career politicians run things.
Well,
I did English.
Speaking of, it's close enough though, isn't it?
Oh, The Guardian, The Observer is going to be on strike. I bet that's ruined your Sunday.
Yeah. So journalists strike over proposed sale of Observer, the Sunday version of The Guardian, to Tortoise Media. So this is journalists at The Guardian and Observer holding a 48-hour strike in protest at the proposed sale of the Observer newspaper to Tortoise Media. It's the first strike at The Guardian in more than 50 years, and it's going to take place on Wednesday and Thursday this week. It's going to be the least consequential strike of all time. You know what I mean? I mean, you could generate an entire Guardian newspaper in 30 minutes on AI. Just have all kinds of clickbaity stuff, stories about hummus, stories about any sort of reasons you should remove your child's genitals, all that sort of stuff.
How are we going to cope for 48 hours with no pieces about why trees are racist? You know what I mean? Like, you should check before before striking. Here's my little guide. Check if your job matters or performs any function in society. I wouldn't strike, because I'm aware that you don't necessarily need me in society, but you definitely don't need these kind of things. It's like when BuzzFeed strike or something, or BuzzFeed's closed down. Oh no, I won't learn 20 reasons I should notice I'm vegan or something. It's just...
Yeah. And a Guardian spokesman said, "We do not believe a strike is the best course of action." It's like, oh, you don't like strikes now? You liked every single other strike that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Especially when it's people who actually do something.
My favourite line is, "I'm confident there's been a detailed and thoughtful process." No, there hasn't. There totally hasn't. Or you wouldn't be striking, because you'd have noticed.
I love as well that they say, some articles will still come out because maybe they'll be written beforehand. They're always written beforehand. They're just trying to work out, how to cover the fact that even though they're on strike, there'll still be stuff. Because they're always scheduling it, surely, to goodness. Yeah. They're just giving away the fact, as you say, their jobs, not necessarily as time specific. Right, Nick, to the Daily Mail. Trans women staged a restroom protest. I don't know, spending age in the loo. Sounds like a man thing.
Transgender activists staged an outrageous takeover of the United States Capitol. Women's toilets... Sorry, I read that really badly. It's the United States Capitol women's toilets to protest Republicans' congressional trans bathroom ban. It's quite a tricky headline, to be fair to me. Basically, it's a kind of insurrection, Steve, and I think we have some pictures and images of it. Look. Moving images. Ladies' room. They're listening to a track.
Happens in toilets anyway.
There's a track called "Meeting in the Ladies' Room" they're listening to. I don't know how it goes, so I just made it up.
But a lot of them surely weren't female, presenting as women.
No, they're the man ones.
They were loads of them were blokes.
It's blokes in the bathroom.
Yeah, so they're blokes in the bathroom. So surely that's, their whole point is like, oh no, trans women are women, and it's like then you got some blokes, like some. They're either trans women who really haven't put any more effort than I have, or they're just blokes.
The Leo Kearse effort matrix.
It's
always the
effort.
The effort level.
And honestly, I think Greg Wallace, now is the time for him to come out as trans. If he came out as trans...
It would be a beautiful and moving story.
It would be a beautiful moving story.
And all the
people who would be saying, oh, Greg Wallace is a threat, he made me feel threatened. Well, now you're being transphobic.
That's why he put the sock there. He felt uncomfortable with that bit.
Yeah, exactly.
He can win the women's boxing. He can storm the Capitol. He can do almost anything. Why aren't these people going to be... I'm not saying they should be put in prison, but why aren't they being put in prison like the January 6th people?
Yeah.
Because they're in the Capitol messing around. Isn't that exactly what the guy in the big hat did?
Just lock that bathroom door.
Do you not feel... I mean, I know there are many facets to this issue. Do you not feel sorry for whoever needed a poo just then?
Yeah.
Imagine you turn up to the loo and they're doing some music video and you're like, because if you miss the window, you're done for a while.
Yes, and that's the other reason they should be banned that people aren't talking about enough.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason.